Hi everyone. So today we're gonna draw pink mountain bubbles. So for our canvas, we'll go to the wrench option, that is the first option in our toolbar. Go to canvas, crop and resize. Settings 3000 into 2300 pixels. 117 layers are available for this size we have set. So let's get started. First, we'll click on our background color and it's the last color over here. Now we'll go to calligraphy monoline. So my settings are streamline is set to 0, spacing is set to 11, but it really depends on how you want until a point in further drawing, which we are going to do. Now we will switch to this light purple color, this one over here. I'm clicking it several times so you can see it, and also this color palette is in the description box, so if you want to use the same colors as I am, you can just click on the link and the link will take you to the Files app on your iPad, and you have to click on Open in Procreate on the top right of your Files app. So it'll just get imported and you can see it in the last in your palettes option. Okay, so now we are choosing this light color and we are on layer 1, okay? We are gonna draw a circle. Hold your pencil for a little while and click your finger once on the screen. Tap your fingers once on the screen and it'll snip to a perfect circle. If you don't get it right away, you can try it again. Now, oh my gosh. So if you want to fill this, you can just hold your pencil on the color, drag it inside the circle. Okay, so if you keep it over here, the whole thing will get covered, so make sure you're inside the circle. Now you can actually move it, so I've turned on snapping, it's on to uniform, and of course snapping is turned on, just as I said. And now we are going to go onto a new layer. Click once on layer 2, on the name layer 2, and click on clipping mask. This will allow you to draw only on the surface area of the previous shape that you have drawn. Okay, so now you will switch to airbrushing, soft brush, and you will have to choose this dark purple, the only dark purple that's there, and make sure the size is set to 10% and just go around there. Reduce the size and make sure you can do it. So I'm just removing the clipping mask so I can just explain a few things to you. So to straighten any shape to a perfect anything, okay, so it depends on what you're drawing. Example for a line, this is very jagged. I'll just hold my pencil in a place for a few seconds, it snips to a perfect line. So that's what I'll be using a few times. Just thought you need to know because you cannot see the pencil I'm drawing, so there. So I'm again snipping it into a perfect line. So if you see the instead of edit shape, if you see line created, it means that you have to create a line over there, but it's completely your choice. Now move to this darkest blue there is in the whole palette. Make sure you're on 10% again. And do that again. And now switch to this dark pink. And yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Now line created. Yes, of course, I've created a line. Now go to the second option, Gaussian blur layer. I am on 28.3%. Okay, doesn't seem too bad. Now, new layer, clipping mask again, calligraphy, monoline, and this last but one color in the first row. So I'm going to remove the clipping mask to show you what we're actually doing. So we're going like this, straightening our line by keeping our pencil in one place. And now we're gonna close the shape. We're gonna use that option we just used. Don't be in the same place for a particular time, because let me just show you what happens. It just becomes a proper triangle, and our mountain should be very jagged. So we don't want that. You can just pause whenever you feel you want to. Yes. So why are we doing this? So we can fill it. So we can fill only closed shapes. I mean, if it is like this, how can I ask you to fill the whole thing gets filled up? So now I'm gonna click on clipping mask, and you can see what's there, but just want to move it down. Really down. Like this. And I'd like to adjust a few things, like this one. That small hill over there. And also this area. No, that one's not a good choice. Okay, let's just move this a bit this side, shall we? Yeah, it looks good now. Now we will click on Alpha Lock. You can see those checkboard patterns there. It's because this allows us to draw only on the content we've already drawn on our screen in that particular layer. So on layer 3, it'll allow us to draw only on the mountains we've drawn before. Now we are moving to the textures. Make sure you're on Duck Lake, this darkest pink color. Size is to 7%. And just make sure you're somewhere on this area. Yeah. And now make sure you go to how is that pronounced again? Melaleuca. Okay, I'm not sure, but whatever. I don't know how to pronounce a few brushes over here, but I love those brushes. Okay, so we're doing this. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Add just a bit texture in that valley there. And go to spray paints, find nozzle. So if I'm pronouncing anything wrong, just don't take me wrong. Just don't. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, now we are on to 16% and the opacity is 43%. And the bottom should be colored. And also a few edges. Yeah, a few edges. I want to make it soft and really mountainy. We're gonna add something else later on which will finish our touch to the mountains. Okay? So, yeah, that's good. Now, there. We're done with it. Remove the alpha lock. So one difference between the alpha lock is when I switch to alpha lock and I remove the alpha lock, and if I had drawn something outside it by mistake, then it doesn't appear, but clipping mask, you can see if I remove the clipping mask, it's available for me. So yes, that's the basic idea. The difference between alpha lock and clipping mask. There are a few other differences, but this is what we've got to know now in present. So now switch back to the same color with which we drew the mountains. Make sure you are on textures, Melaleuca again. Make sure you are on 3%. And with very hard pressure, okay, no. I want it to be to 2%. Make sure with wheel pressure, you're actually drawing this. Yeah. This will give us a hill-like texture to it. Obviously, that's what we wanted. So, you can either do this first or last. It's totally your choice. But doing it at the last will make us kind of highlight it. So we want to highlight it because trees, they usually appear like they are on it. So you can observe over here. It looks like it's on it instead of it's merged with it. So that's why I wanted to do it. But if you don't like it appearing as a different substance rather than the same one, you can just do it in the first. Yes. Yeah, so doing it in the last kind of is my favorite, but your wish. That's totally what you would like. Yeah? Yep. Now, what you'll have to do is, I think I'd like to add a little more texture to it with my fine nozzle over here. Yeah, because the right side, I want to highlight the right side of this large mountain. Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Clipping mask again to a new layer. Go to luminance, glimmer, and here spacing is set to max. You can see what happens if I don't have any spacing on it. And without jitter, they're going to be singular. You see, they're going to be really singular, which I don't want. I want them to be spread out so I can have really spread out stars. White color. And I want it to be actually on 17% for a while. Oh yes, and this should be between layer 3 and 2 because we want it below the mountains, because if I put it above the mountains, the stars will appear on the mountains, which we don't want, which I don't want. So it's totally yours, but this is more appropriate, I feel. I'm gonna reduce it to 8%, and I'm gonna make it really starry, like the one you're seeing now. Now we will switch to light pen. Streamline is to 50%, spacing is to 5%, but streamline really doesn't matter because we are not doing any kind of streamline work over here. But it doesn't matter, as I told you. We are just adding dots. Bright little stars. Wonderful little bright stars to brighten the sky. Because with the glimmer, it will come kind of like a flare. I can just show you if you like. So you can just turn off the jitter and, oh, the size is small, isn't it? But you won't basically get it. It'll come as a flare. First of all, yeah, it is good. It's basic, but I prefer light pen. It appears like a improper stars, and stars are round, but it will make them appear like not so definite. And it's my favorite, but I'm giving you an option. So you can either do that by turning off the jitter, or you can choose light pen, because sometimes you will just not get it right. The stars will come as lines because these are not round things that we're drawing. So I just use a bit of circular motion kind of thing. So you can just see this is kind of line thing, but that's why I'm giving you options before I actually complete the drawing. Yes, this is perfect. Now we'll go to a new layer. It'll automatically go to clipping mask. If I put this above, it'll still be there, but you can see if I remove the clipping mask over here, the clipping mask on the mountain goes. And if I clip here, you can just see, as there's no clipping mask on the bottom, this will just disappear. If you've drawn anything here, this will appear, but this won't. So make sure you are on clipping mask. Okay, now we will move to calligraphy monoline again and draw a round just hold our pencil there and one finger on our screen. Wait, now we'll duplicate this. Go to the bottom layer, go to the magic wand, Gaussian blur layer, and 11.5, but yeah, it's totally your wish. But okay, 13.7 is good as well. Go to layer 5 and go to alpha log as well. We're gonna add some moon-like texture by going to Dove Lake and this last color over there in our palette. Sizes on the same thing which we used. And that's it. Our moony texture is done. Okay, now I want to merge these 4 layers. I want to have those all things together. Now I'm going to select it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to duplicate it first. I'm going to select the bottom layer and flip vertical. I'm going to do this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go to layer 4. I'm going to move it a bit more up. Yeah, like that. And then layer 4, I can make it like I wanted to. Yes, like that. And it looks not so super. So I'm going to click on this N over here. You see the N on the layer and reduce the opacity to 58%. It looks good for me. Yeah, so actually I'm gonna select both layers, just slide towards the right to select it and move it to the right, the whole entire thing to the right. This seems more appropriate for me. If it is already appropriate for you, you don't need to do it. Yeah. Now, actually, I'm gonna not make all of them appear. We are drawing bubbles now. If you've watched the previous one, it should be super simple for you. But if you've not, don't worry. Choose this first color over there. Draw a circle, hold your pencil, one finger on your screen, fill it, and make sure you've made this big because it's not going to be that easy. Eraser should be set to calligraphy monoline, the one which we usually use. And did you know that you could actually use the monoline, the line feature, the circle, line, snapping features, even for the eraser? Well, if you didn't, now you know it. We're gonna use that. So you can see how jagged my line is coming and I hate it that way. I'm just gonna hold my pencil and one finger on top. And then here you'll get the option edit shape. So it will be there until and unless you don't switch to another option or you don't click on the screen. I'm gonna go to edit circle and I'm not gonna go anywhere on the dots. It's already perfect. So I'm just gonna extend it. I'm just gonna extend it and extend it. For moving it around, you will just click your pencil, move your pencil outside the shape. So outside the whole circle on your background, you're gonna do it. That's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect than ever. So just decide your shape size. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Yes, this one's good, and I'm just gonna move it perfectly. Now I'm just gonna extend it so it's totally visible to me. I'm gonna go to airbrushing, soft brush. I'm gonna go to a 7%, I guess, and just erase the inner core of it. Just erase the inner core with multiple strokes. So if you make a mistake and this outer borderline should not get erased. Now I'm gonna decrease the size extremely to, oh my gosh, that is really extreme. I'm gonna do this, totally zoom it out. So if you're totally new and this is the first time you're doing, zooming out is just with your 2 fingers. You just pinch in or pinch out with your 2 fingers. That requires an even small brush size. Yeah. This is a bit of work, but I'm still doing it without going further and pausing it because you can do it along with me. You can do it alongside me. It's gonna be more easier and fun for you. Yes, so it's a bit of work, and if you're doing it first time along with me, it won't be boring. Yes. Sometimes it really feels boring, the erasing work, because to get it accurately is not a child's play. For me, for experts or people who've drawn a lot, it should be pretty easy. I make sure I have all the focus kind of thing on my picture. So that's why my videos are long. I make sure you see every single smallest detail that I am drawing. You can just move further. You don't need to wait for me. I know people don't appreciate long videos, but I think in Procreate, long videos really help you. Long, detailed videos. Yeah. But if you're not well versed in technology, it's gonna be difficult. Well, in everything. But I am assuming, of course, everyone is well versed now in all these kind of technical things. Okay, let's move on. Just click on Alpha Lock. Airbrushing, soft brush, whatever percent you want, except very small percents like 1 or 2 or 3. Go to this lighter version, the second one, and just color a bit sides of it and make sure they're opposite. Okay, now switch to this light blue. Yeah, and this dark purple. Yeah, it's only there that I've used the dark purple. Wow, new layer and luminance light pen. Oh, and make sure you're on white. And just two big light beams kind of thing. Eraser, calligraphy monoline. And just make a window-like shape. Yeah. And go back to your light pen. Small, big. So in my previous ones, I think the first ones were big and the second dot was small. I like both versions. No issues. Now switch to airbrushing, soft brush, and light pink. New layer. Don't forget the new layer thing. Uh-oh, too big. 3%. Oh, that's very imperfect. No. Yes. I'm gonna select and go to warp. This is perfect for any person who wants to change the proportions in a different way. Yes, now you're gonna turn off the opacity to 70%, go to Gaussian blur, and add a slight blur of 7%. I think mine was 7.1, and I'm gonna merge these. And I'm definitely gonna make sure they're small. Yeah, this is a bit different than our old bubbled versions. Yeah, there's no flare, but of course, yes, you can add flares over here. Just go to luminance, flare. These are my settings. Spacing is 63%, white color, size is 11%. Am I in clipping mask or something? Oh yes, I'm on an alpha log, which I definitely have to remove. Yes. Yes. Okay, now definitely it's complete. Gonna make it small, maybe a bit more big. Now let me make all these appear. Now merge this. Sorry, it's on layer 1. Make sure they're small. And I want it to be in the middle, but looks like the middle line doesn't want to show up because there's another layer. I'll just uncheck this because I want this in the middle. Now it showed up. Decided to show up. But, definitely want it bigger. Yeah, I'll make that appear. Bit more bigger. Yes. I'm gonna duplicate it. Smaller than before. Over there. Duplicate it. A bit bigger. Duplicate. Real small. Duplicate. Bigger. Duplicate. Very tiny. Or maybe a bit more big. Yes. Again, duplicate. Bigger. Oh, this version of my duplicate is not nice, so I'll just duplicate it again, maybe. Oh no, because it's so small, the resolution's gone down. So maybe I'll just duplicate this one. I'm gonna move it all the way to the top and duplicate it. Yeah, this looks good actually. We'll merge all of these bubbles under layer 1. On layer 1, there's gonna be another layer, and this is full of making the mountain thing, the mountain bubble thing look like a bubble. It's not exactly a bubble, and that's exactly why we're gonna make it look like a bubble, but it's not gonna look more like a bubble, it's gonna look more like some kind of ball, just like a crystal ball kind of thing. It's gonna be 8%, and I'm just gonna add it that way. Okay, it's too big. I'm gonna make it 7%. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually gonna do the... Did I add a flare? Oh my, I had no idea. Okay, there, new layer, there. Now go to this layer, warp. I already told you how important warp is, but actually yes, it's it's a lot important because it gives, it makes sure it actually has a perfect shape, you know. See, you can see the difference. It looks like a bean now rather than a circle like how I made it before. Yes, now I'm gonna merge them. Oh, yes, that was tough a bit. Calligraphy monoline. And then again, we do the same business we always do. Yes. Now, actually, we are going to do it again, but differently over there. Yeah. Yeah. Looking good. Now, you will go to luminance and light pen and make sure it's on 100%. And, oh, and make sure this is on alpha lock. And make sure you're actually drawing outside the circle. Make sure your pencil is moving outside so the glow is seen only inside. We want the glow seen only inside, and that too in only a few places. And over here, I want the light pen to be seen over there, so just a small thing. Yeah, the glow is still seen. Yes. Yeah. Well, now we'll have to move to pulse. Streamline is off, spacing is 26%. Size is up to 5%, and just move up like this. Yep, that's it. Move back to light pen and make a large dot and a small dot. Maybe we can make those a bit more oval-like and a bit more bright. And now we will finally go to flare. And a real big one over here. And a comparatively smaller one over here. Down as well over there. And I want a really big one over here. Okay, so how do I just turn that? So I'm gonna have to do it on a new layer. I'm gonna have to select it. That's how I want it to appear, except I want it below. Guess it doesn't want to show below. So we'll just merge that much. Okay, so now I'm gonna reduce the size of the flares. Just a small flare over there. Reduce it even more, and 2 flares. Okay, 1 flare is good enough. Over there, and a comparatively bigger one down there. Yes, so now I am going to merge these two and make it bigger. Yes. So that's it for today, and I hope this really helped you.